Official report Earth military assessment. Classification most urgent. From Commander Pax Lura, Zentari Federation Military Intelligence. Subject immediate withdrawal recommendation. To my most esteemed High Command. I must begin this report with an urgent recommendation. Under no circumstances should we ever consider military action against the humans. What I witnessed today at their so-called educational facility has shaken me to my very core. Let me explain the horrifying details of my diplomatic mission to their West Point Terra Academy. As you know, I arrived on Earth with the absolute certainty of our superiority. After all, we Zentari have perfected warfare through precise calculation and perfect order. Our troops march in immaculate formation. Our battle plans follow strict mathematical principles. Even our uniforms stay mysteriously spotless during combat. I expected to find a primitive training facility filled with bumbling bipeds attempting to mimic proper military discipline. The transport landed at 0700 Earth hours. The air was thick with that peculiar mixture of nitrogen and oxygen they somehow managed to breathe. I adjusted my atmospheric processor and straightened my ceremonial medals, all 27 of them arranged in perfect geometric precision on my chest. A small greeting party awaited me at the landing pad. Welcome to West Point Terra Academy. Commander Pax Lura, the female who stepped forward, wore a uniform with far fewer medals than mine, which I with satisfaction. I'm General Sarah Wars, Academy Commandant. We're thrilled as Zentari Federal's interest in our humble methods. Her use of the word confirmed my preconception. I fluttered secondary breathing membranes in what I believe a gracious manner. Yes, the Federation is most curious about how you manage to produce functional soldiers with such limited resources. The General's smile widened, showing far too many teeth. I would later recognize this as humans call a predator, but at the time I mistook it for submission. Oh, managed somehow. We begin the tour. I believe the year cadets are just starting their morning warm-up, I inquired, my primary translation glancing slightly at the unfair term. Yes, she replied, that unsettling smile still ace. Not strenuous. Just a light mile run carrying full pass, followed by what we call the murder mile obstacle course. Then they'll have breakfast. I laughed, assuming this is an example of human humor. The General did not join in. The small party of officers behind her maintained equally serious expressions. A feeling began to spread my tertiary nervous system. You are joking, early I managed to say. Commander Winters replied, her voice carrying a note of what I soon learned was pure human delight in the face of another's discomfort. We never joke about training. Shall we head to the course? They should be reaching the barbed wire and live fire sections. As followed her toward would be the first of many horrifying revelations that day, I made my initial note to High Command: humans are not what we thought they were. May the cosmicness have mercy on anyone who underestimates. If only I had known that this was merely the beginning of my ordeal. The path to the training grounds led us past perfectly manicured grass, which I initially took as a promise sign of order. That was when I noticed the cadets. Sweet cosmic consciousness, the cadets. Down and give me 50, the booming voice nearly caused my secondary heart to stop. A human instructor, who I would later learn was the legendary Sergeant Major Markiel, towered over a group of motherfucking trainees. His voice probably be heard in the next solar system. Excuse me, I interrupted, my transient gland working overtime. 50 what? Sergeant Steele turned to me with an expression that made my skeleton want to molt prematurely. 50 push-ups, Commander. Standard punishment for loudly during stealth training. I watched in horror as 20 young humans dropped to the ground and rhythmically pushing their entire body up and down. But that's extremely inefficient. The Zentari forces, we simply earn nutrition credits. Nutrition credits. General was raised an eyebrow. Oh, Commander, soldiers are cranky soldiers. Cranky soldiers might just forget to say in combat. Before I could process this disturbing event, we reached the infamous obstacle course. My optical processors struggled to make sense of what I was. Humans swinging across pits of bubbling mud on us, while others held under razor wire as live plasma rounds sizzled overhead. Some were scaling walls using nothing but bare hands, and others, all that's sacred, were they fighting on top of a narrow beam suspended feet in the air. Don't worry, General Winters said, misinterpreting my horrified expression. The plasma were set to stun, usually. Coming a voice shouted from somewhere above. I looked up just in time to see a human cadet being from the sky. My emergency telephone began beeping frantically, but before I could act it, the cadet landed in a roll, sprung to their feet, and sprinted off toward the next obstacle. Excellent form, Cadet Tom Sergeant Steele bellowed. Next time try to avoid anti-aircraft turrets. Anti-aircraft, but they're afoot, I protested gleefully. Exactly, Earl Winters beamed. Can't expect them to always craft available in combat situations. So we teach them to dodge anti-air fire on foot. Builds care. A small group of cadets passed us, chanting what I assume was some sort of military cadence. I don't know, but I've been told alien worlds are mighty old. Sound of 1, 2. They were singing while through an active weapon range and smiling. Perhaps I suggested, trying to maintain my diplomatic composure, we should move on, observing something less intense. Your theoretical training phase, perhaps. General Winters' checkmometer. Perfect time. The advanced problem-solving is about to begin. They're on improvised weapon A. Improvised weapons, my voice rose several octaves. Oh yes, you wouldn't believe these kids can do the paperclip and a band. Last week, Cadet Martinez taught an entire simulation squad with nothing but a sock full of butter and some dental floss. As we turned toward the class buildings, I made another note in my report. A previous assessment of human predictability severely underestimated. They appear to view chaos as a military exercise extreme caution. Little did I know, the improvised weapons soon seemed like peaceful meditation session come what awaited me in the afternoon training exercises. The physical education facility, if one let that, resembled what humans might term a nightmare factory. I arrived just in time to witness what they casually referred to as light barring practice. Remember, your training sergeant's voice echoed through the massive gymnasium. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a plasma bolt. To my utter disbelief, actual wrenches were flung through the air. The cadet, instead of filing a formal complaint or calling their legal representatives, laughing while dodging metal projectiles. Is this sanctioned? I whispered to Jenners. Oh, this isn't, she replied cheerfully. Wait until you advance class. They wrenches while solving differential equations. Multitasking is essential in warfare. Young cadet approached us, covered what appeared to be a mixed mud, paint, and some unidentifiable fluorescent substance. General Winters. Permission to demonstrate the new combat maneuver, our distinguished guest. Proceed, Cadet Riley. General Winters nodded. What happens defied several laws of physics and probably a few of interstellar warfare. Cadet Lee proceeded to perform what they called a war combat sequence, which involved running a ball, backflipping 3 training drones, disarming 2 practice opponents mid-flip, ending in a perfect fling stance, reciting the entire Geneva Convention backwards. Most impressive, I managed to say, discreetly checking if my optical process needed recalibration. But surely this is an except case. Oh no, General Winters laughed. Riley's still working on their... You should see when they're really trying. We move on to what they call the endurance training area. I use quotation marks because in any civilized society it would be classified as a torture chamber. Cadets were running on devices that simulated various planetary gravity, from Mercury to Jupiter, while others were swimming in pools with what appeared to be carbon mud. The bath is actually quite popular, General Winters explained. Helps build into environmental hazards. It's refreshing after the lava walking exercises. The what exercises? Oh, don't worry, we use static lava. Most of the time. Just then, a group of mud-covered cadets emerged from an underground tunnel, carrying what appeared to be giant logs on their shoulders. They were singing, again, something about a duck, an antimatter drive, and a bottle of hot sauce. Ah, the Special Forces group, General Winters beamed proudly. They've been underground for 3 days, navigating by echolocation, living off of nothing but coffee beans and pure determination. But why, I asked, my professional composure finally. Why, responded a mud-covered cadet cheerfully as she jogged past, somehow maintaining presence despite carrying a log twice her size. Taco Tuesday in the mess hall, that's motivation enough. I watched in mounting horror as another cadets entered what they called the mode enhancement chamber, the observation window. I could see them facing off against training robot. The room itself randomly altered its temperature, atmospheric composition. Don't worry about the robot, Winters said, noticing my expression. They're programmed with safety protocol prevents them from causing permanent damage. As if one of the robots flew through the reinforced window, sparked briefly, and mumbled something that sounded suspiciously like a human, too unpredictable, before shouting. Most of the time, she added with a shrug. I made a note in my report: urgent update training methods appear to be designed by their action entertainment videos with fever dreams and implementing them in reality. Their definition of physical education borders on voluntary torture, which they somehow interpret as fun. They are, in short, completely insane. The day wasn't half over, and I'd already filled my emergent data storage with increasingly panicked observations. But nothing could have prepared me. Came next the infamous mud incident that would haunt my nightmares to come. Now, Commander General Winters, with that terrifying smile of hers, how would you like to experience some hands-on training? Fortunately, I was saved by the arrival of Professor Nathan, head of psychological warfare, who insisted it was time for my scheduled observation strategy classes. I had never been so relieved to end a lecture in my entire military career. Surely, I thought, this would be a return to civil military education. How wrong I was. I entered the classroom in what appeared to be chaos. Cadets were arranged in small groups, each stationed around what they called gables. On the display screen was an image that third eye twitched today's lesson: weaponized absurd and creative combat solution. Well, Commander, Professor exclaimed, bouncing on his heel, disturbing enthusiasm. Today we're exploring unconventional warfare through the lens of human entertainment media. Cadet Wilson, please share your team's strategy for defense against a superior force. Use only items found in a typical human bond. Cadet stood up, activated a holographic display, and speaking with complete seriousness. Sir, our team has developed a multi-phased strategy utilizing condiment area denial, improvised maker explosives, and tactical application of banana peels. Call it Operation Food Fight. Waited for the professor to reprimand such obvious nonsense. Instead, he clapped his hand alight. Excellent. Especially about weaponizing this of the day. Though I might suggest considering the tactical advantage of spreading marbles near the salad bowl. Another cadet raised hand. Sir, what about using the serve ice cream as a makeshift riot control device? Now that's thinking outside the box, Martinez. Make sure to account for different viscosity settings. My translation gland starting to develop a headache. Surely, I hinted, you don't actually implement these. Professor Bird's eyes lit up with an unwilling gleam. Of course, in fact, we're about to begin today's practical exercise. Everyone to the ball arena. The next 30 minutes blur of technicolor horror. What I witnessed in that arena defied every principle of conventional military doctrine. We're using psychology, misdirection, and what mean warfare to completely devastate their opponents. One team had so rigged a series of speakers to play something called Never on Loop, thoroughly demoralizing their opponents. Another group had developed called tactical dance moves, dodge incoming fire, while simultaneously confusing the enemy with, as they put it, basic strategies. Observe the beauty of human ingenuity, Professor Burke said proudly as he had used a pizza box as both and a frisbee, like weapon. We encourage them creatively. But this isn't warfare, I predicted. This is. Exactly, he beat us. The enemy is warfare. They don't expect to be defeated by a squad of choreographed dance while simultaneously executing a perfect thinking maneuver. Psychological warfare isn't just about breaking the enemy's fight. It's about making them question their entire understanding of reality. Just then, a team that breached a defensive position by hitting a diversion in 3 rubber chickens, a bottle of litter, and what they assured me was totally theoretical mind control made from a modified karaoke.
Jin had been expecting many things
where a cadet approached us, covered in rainbow-colored paint, grinning wildly, permitted to demonstrate our new sonic warfare technique. Or I could object, the entire cloak into something they called sea shanties. They're synchronized and creating a surprisingly effective sonic pattern that somehow incorporated advanced battlegies in the lyrics. I frantically added toward critical update humans have weapon chaos itself. Their psychological warfare suggests brilliant